Welcome back to our channel. Today is a beautifully chaotic Thursday, and we have a huge amount of drama to decipher from Fairmont Crest. The latest updates have completely turned my mind, and we need to talk about the psychological horror unfolding in the upcoming episodes right now. I genuinely don't know what to believe anymore. The July 16th episode of Beyond the Gates is being pitched to us as a story about tension, but that is the understatement of the century. This isn't just tension. This is a masterclass in emotional manipulation and psychological warfare, and I am absolutely spiraling trying to connect the dots. Let's start with this dinner. This horrifying, suffocating dinner with Joey, Vanessa, and Deanna. We are told Deanna is pretending to be accepting of Joey, but Joey already knows the truth because Randy's sweet, invisible, treacherous Randy has been secretly reporting Deanna's every move to him. I can't stop thinking about this. The dynamic at that table is going to be toxic. Why does every scene feel emotionally manipulated? Think about the eye contact that is going to happen over those dinner plates. Joey is going to sit there, chewing his food, staring at Deanna with this hollow, knowing gaze. Do you think he planned this from the start? Of course he did. He is letting Deanna dig her own grave. He wants her to put on this fake smile, to offer him a toast, just so he can watch her squirm. That reaction didn't feel human. It feels like a predator playing with its food. And is Vanessa really this blind? She's sitting right between them. How can she not feel the atmospheric pressure dropping in that room? This keeps getting worse the more I think about it. Remember the disastrous double date they had with Nicole and Carlton? The show is deliberately echoing that trauma. They are showing us that Vanessa cannot escape these horrific dining table confrontations. But this time, Joey holds all the cards. What if Joey casually drops a detail that only Randy could have known? A slight pause in the dialogue, a clinking of a wine glass, and then he says something that makes Deanna's blood run cold. Will Deanna lose her mind and confront him right there? Will she scream? If she realizes she's being surveilled, the paranoia will break her. And Vanessa, who will she choose? Will Deanna force her mother to choose between her own flesh and blood and this manipulative mastermind? No, something is deeply off here. Joey wants Vanessa isolated. He wants Deanna out of the picture so he can have Vanessa all to himself. It's a classic power struggle, and Vanessa is just the prize in the middle. But wait, my brain is jumping to Martin and Smitty, and I am literally shaking. Maybe that means nothing, but why on earth are Martin and Smitty suddenly reminiscing about the darkest period of their marriage right now? They are reflecting on the time Martin's secret tore them apart the night, years ago, when he killed that man to protect himself and Vernon after that political event. Why is the show dragging this trauma back to the surface? Is it just for an anniversary? No? There are no coincidences in Fairmont Crest. I am obsessing over this. The trauma, the nightmares, the fact that he had to move out and live with his grandparents, they survived it. They are stronger now, but are they? Are they really? Because if we look at what is actually happening behind closed doors, Martin is hiding something massive. I cannot get the recent timeline out of my head. Martin just sat down with his mother, Nicole, and the tension in that room was suffocating. He casually asked her if, after his political campaign, he should scale back or take on a bigger project. A bigger project? What does that even mean? The nervous behavior he must have exhibited, the way he probably avoided looking at his mother directly, Nicole felt it. You could see the sheer, unadulterated terror in her response. She didn't just give him career advice, she warned him. She said, "This could turn your life upside down." What are you going to do, Martin? Mothers know. Nicole's maternal intuition is screaming that her son is stepping back into the darkness. Why was she smiling during that scene? Wait, she wasn't smiling, she was terrified. But was Martin smiling? Was it that innocent, boyish smile that hides a monster? This connects directly to the murder. What if this new political campaign has triggered the exact same psychological conditions that led to the killing years ago? What if Martin feels that every time he runs for office, violence follows him like a shadow? Is this bigger project a cover-up? Is he building an empire based on ruthless elimination of his rivals? And Smitty, poor, blind Smitty, does she realize her husband is hiding a brand new, terrifying fear? Will Martin confess what is keeping him awake at night, or will he retreat into silence again? The editing choices in these scenes are going to be maddening, cutting from Martin's loving face with Smitty to his cold, calculating eyes when he talks to his mother. I'm terrified for Smitty. She thinks the storm is over, but the hurricane is just forming. And speaking of hurricanes of lies, we have to talk about Naomi. I am so angry, but I am also so confused. Naomi lied to her entire family for months about not carrying the BRCA gene. Months. She looked them in the eyes and lied. She finally confessed to Donnie and Jacob. And now, this Thursday, she has to face the rest of the Dupree cousins. Will they immediately offer sympathy? Or will the sheer weight of her deception shatter their trust forever? Why did she lie for so long? Was it just fear of her own mortality? Or is there a deeper, darker reason? Maybe I'm reading too deeply into this, but we have to talk about Jacob's involvement in this. Naomi told Jacob, "Do you understand the state Jacob is in right now?" Jacob is completely unraveling. He was brutally beaten by his own shadowy contact, Ren, over the plasma ring investigation. Jacob is so consumed by paranoia that he is literally hiding in building elevators to ambush Grayson because he is too terrified to take the stairs. He's a battered, broken, desperate man. And right in the middle of his psychological collapse, Naomi dumps this genetic time bomb on him. How is Jacob supposed to process her lie when his entire reality is crumbling? Ren cornered Jacob in an abandoned warehouse and told him, "There will be a price to pay for your snooping. I just haven't told you who will pay it." Oh my God, I can't stop thinking about this. What if Naomi is the one who pays the price? What if the plasma ring conspiracy is somehow tied to the medical facility where Naomi got tested? What if Grayson manipulated the results? No, that's crazy, or is it? Or maybe the show wants us to ignore the obvious. The cousins are going to sit Naomi down, and they are going to notice her nervous behavior, the way she avoids eye contact, the way she plays with her hands. Will they be worried for her health, or will they be furious at being manipulated? Hidden resentment is going to bleed through every single frame of that scene. They might understand that she was scared, but the betrayal of trust is a bell you cannot unring. The family dynamics are fracturing, and Naomi holds the hammer. And then Pamela suddenly reappears out of nowhere to support Donnie. The timing is so incredibly suspicious. It's been ages since we've seen Pamela, Donnie's best friend and business partner. Why now? Because Donnie is drowning in a sea of her own guilt. The tornado the night the literal earth shook and the sky fell. Donnie used that chaos to reconnect with Bill. She betrayed her marriage to Andre, and now Pamela is here to offer support. But is it really support? Look at the pauses in their dialogue. Look at the objects shown repeatedly as Donnie nervously clutching her wedding ring. Pamela is not going to coddle Donnie. Pamela is going to deliver brutal, unrelenting tough love. I bet Pamela is disgusted by what Donnie did. Pamela knows that Donnie is confusing love, trauma, guilt, and responsibility. Donnie is trying to juggle her crumbling marriage with Andre while playing nurse to Bill, and she is failing spectacularly at both. But here is the most terrifying part. Donnie spoke to Nicole recently and didn't tell her anything. Donnie completely hid this massive, life-altering secret from her own sister. Why? Because Nicole is already spiraling over Martin. Donnie knows that if she drops the "I hooked up with Bill during the tornado bomb" on Nicole, Nicole will completely break. But what is Pamela's true motive? Does Pamela have a secret agenda? Why does she look at Donnie with that strange mixture of pity and judgment? Is Pamela going to use this secret to leverage something against Donnie in their business? The power struggles in this show are never just personal, they are always transactional. Donnie thinks she has a confidant, but what if she just handed Pamela a loaded gun? I am emotionally exhausted. My brain is vibrating with these theories. Joey's psychological torture of Deanna, Martin's terrifying descent back into his political trauma, Jacob's bloody paranoia colliding with Naomi's genetic lies, and Donnie's tornado-fueled infidelity being dissected by Pamela. Every single interaction is laced with poison. Every smile is a threat. Every pause is a confession. I don't know how we are going to survive this week's episodes. The Fairmont Crest gates are closing, and we're all trapped inside with these monsters.